Imagine a war room where there are no generals hunched over paper maps, arguing about strategy for hours. Imagine a conflict where the decision of who lives and who dies is not made by a tired or stressed human being, but by a cold, calculating algorithm that is 1,000 times faster than any biological brain. This is not a scene from a science fiction movie. This is not a prediction for the year 2050. This is happening right now, and the epicenter of this silent revolution is Israel. Today, we are going deep inside the most secretive layers of the Israel Defense Forces to reveal the truth about the gospel. We are not talking about religion. We are talking about the most advanced and lethal artificial intelligence system ever created in modern military history. A system that has transformed war into an automated factory of targets. While the world argues about the Iron Dome, a much more terrifying technology is operating in the shadows, defining the future of how wars will be fought. If you think you know how the Israeli army operates, prepare to have all your certainties destroyed. What I am about to tell you changes everything. To understand the magnitude of what the Habsora system, or the gospel in English, really represents, we need to go back in time. In the past, finding a high-value target, such as an enemy commander hiding in a bunker or a missile depot camouflaged in a civilian building, was detective work that took weeks. Human analysts needed to intercept calls, analyze satellite photos, cross-reference data from informants, and after much debate, confirm the target. In previous wars, Israel managed to generate about 50 quality targets per year. Keep that number in mind. 50 targets a year. It was a manual, slow process prone to human error. But everything changed. The threats became faster. Enemies began to appear and disappear in seconds, using networks of underground tunnels and urban guerrilla tactics that made human intelligence obsolete. Israel realized it needed speed. And that is when Unit 8200, the elite cyber intelligence unit, and military strategists decided to remove the human factor from the data processing equation. They created a machine. The gospel system is not just a fast computer. It is an artificial intelligence based on machine learning that functions like an omniscient brain. Imagine that this system is connected to everything, absolutely everything. It receives real-time data from thousands of different sources. It sees what the drones are filming. It hears radio and cell phone interceptions. It reads the topographic data of the terrain. It analyzes heat movements detected by satellites. And the most impressive part, it cross-references all of this instantly. While a human analyst would take days to realize that a specific cell phone, which appeared near a rocket launcher, belongs to an enemy commander who just entered a specific building, the AI makes this connection in milliseconds. The result is terrifying in its efficiency. Remember the 50 targets a year. With the gospel system, Israel started generating over 100 new targets per day, from 50 a year to 100 a day. A former head of the Israeli army described this technology, in his own words, as a mass assassination factory. That phrase is not mine. It comes from the people who built the system. But how does this work in practice? The operator's screen does not show complex code. It shows recommendations. The gospel system identifies a hostile pattern, calculates the probability of it being a valid target, estimates how many civilians might be in the area, and delivers the recommendation to the human commander. All the human has to do is approve. The system chews up the complexity of war and spits out GPS coordinates ready for the strike. It is the automation of destruction. This raises questions that are keeping military experts around the world awake at night. If the machine processes data so fast, does the human really have time to verify the information? Or are the operators merely serving as a rubber stamp for the AI's decisions, blindly trusting the algorithm because it is too fast to be questioned? Reports indicate that in moments of high tension, the pressure to approve the targets suggested by the AI is immense. War becomes a continuous stream of data and fire where the machine dictates the rhythm and the human tries to keep up. And it does not stop there. The gospel is just the tip of the iceberg. It works in tandem with another system called Fire Factory. While the gospel tells you where to shoot, the Fire Factory calculates the exact ammunition load, the angle of attack, and which jet or drone is closest to execute the mission. It is a lethal choreography fully orchestrated by artificial intelligence. This allows Israel to strike thousands of points in a matter of hours, something that would have been logistically impossible just a few years ago. The technical precision of this AI is what makes it so valuable and at the same time so feared. It can learn. With every mission, every hit, and every miss, the algorithm recalibrates itself. If a type of hideout was successfully identified, the AI sweeps the entire map of the region looking for similar architectural or thermal patterns. It is as if, upon finding a needle in a haystack, the machine instantly learned how to locate every other needle in every other haystack in the country. But there is an even darker side. The capacity to process massive amounts of data allows Israel to map the so-called social network of terror. The AI can identify not just the armed combatants, but their entire support network, logistics, and communication, predicting enemy movements before they even happen. It is predictive warfare. The system tries to guess where the enemy will be, based on their past habits. The world is watching this closely because what Israel is using today will be the global military standard by 2026. The United States, China, and Russia are racing to develop their own versions of the gospel. The war in Ukraine has already shown the use of drones, but the war in the Middle East inaugurated the era of algorithmic warfare. The soldier of the future is not just the one with the best aim, but the one with the best database and the fastest processor. Now think about the psychological impact of this. For the enemy, the feeling is that there is nowhere to hide. It does not matter if you are underground, in a moving car, or disguised in a crowd. If you generated a digital data point, a heat signature, or a movement pattern that the algorithm recognizes, you are already a target. The inevitability of the attack is the strongest weapon of this system. It removes the hope of escape. However, technology is not infallible. And this is the critical point that few discuss. Algorithms are trained by humans and can carry biases. If the system is fed data that considers certain civilian behaviors as suspicious, it can generate wrong targets on an industrial scale. The impressive speed of the gospel system also means that mistakes can be made at a speed impossible to contain. The final responsibility is still human, but for how long? As we approach a future where autonomous machines like drone swarms might not only select but also attack targets without any human confirmation, the gospel system serves as the first major warning. We are crossing an ethical and technological line that can never be uncrossed. War, which has always been a human, visceral and chaotic activity, is becoming cold, calculated and binary. What Israel has revealed to the world with the use of this AI is not just a new weapon, it is a new doctrine. Military superiority is no longer measured in tons of explosives, but in teraflops of processing power. Whoever processes reality faster wins. And in this game, the gospel system is playing chess, while the rest of the world is still learning to play checkers. The question that remains for us is, if this technology is active and operating right now, what else is being developed in the underground labs of Tel Aviv that we do not know about yet? If the gospel chooses the targets, who is choosing the future of war? The only certainty is that the era of invisible war, guided by data and decided by silicon, has already begun. And in it, being undetectable is the only way to survive.